Yes, I am going to thoughtfully review the story of a game with 2 cutscenes. I'm aided by the fact that characters fall under the category of story, and that character design falls under the category of characters. As promised, we'll start with the story. The game is influenced by the Viking raids of the 700s to 1000s. If that's true, then the motivation of the Snowmad's invasion would be to, quote, seek out women from foreign lands. Poor Dixie. In all seriousness, it's far more likely that they are nomads, because of their name, which means that the Snowmads don't have a home. They wander the endless sea, looking for food and water to feed their people. In a bit of desperation, Frederick may have been forced to take the lands so his people could keep on living. What if Bowser or K. Rool conquered the Snowmad's homeland to fill it with platforming obstacles and turned them into refugees? I'm not sure how immigration works in the world of Mario, but I imagine no other kingdom would take such a significant increase in population. Think about it. Why would these Snowmads be waiting on a boat at the end of the game looking sad? Because Frederick probably hadn't found a place for them to live yet. He would have spent the whole campaign planning where the houses and businesses would go, meanwhile we've just been violently punching all of his heads of government. When you think about it, is Donkey Kong the villain, forcing the refugees with no home, crops, or drinking water out from his island? This isn't Donkey Kong's island. How could he have purchased it when he operates in his own separate economy of bananas rather than the global currency of coin? He probably just strolled up after he gave up kidnapping women and decided to take it for himself. But newsflash, monkey, that's not how real estate works. And even if they could just take it, 4 monkeys live in one hut, so they have more than enough space to coexist and share. Oh, but I'm sure Donkey Kong couldn't handle sharing his bananas. That's probably why Lanky Kong isn't here. Donkey Kong would have ripped his arms off for eating more than his share of bananas. Retro Studios is aware of this fact, and just so happens to make all of this go down on Donkey Kong's birthday, so we'll feel sad for the terrorist who kidnapped women and went on to inspire the worst tyrant the world has ever known. Donkey Kong is the Nietzsche's to Bowser's Hitler. Although, all this implies that the Snowmads are refugees of war, and they would be called the Refu-Frees if that was the case. For them to have the title of Nomad, they must have chosen to leave their home. The only reason I could think for them to do this is due to global warming. The carbon emissions Bowser's factories must be making, building all their machinery, must be having a severe effect on the world. That must have caused the ice caps to melt and become unsustainable, so Frederick is doing the only thing he can. He takes his people aboard his armada, searching for a new home, and lo and behold, he comes across Donkey Kong Island, the home of one of the most infamous criminals in the world. Fearing for the safety of their young women, Frederick launches an immediate attack as Donkey Kong has meager intelligence and therefore cannot be reasoned with. Alas, the assassination fails, and he unleashes the hateful fury of the Kongs. That's about enough I could glean out of the story of Tropical Freeze, so let's move on to the characters. There's not a lot here, as none of them talk or interact with each other in any meaningful way. Still, this animation of Donkey Kong sliding backwards down a hill indicates he has a childlike nature, or more likely deficient intelligence. So we'll move on to character design. Retro applies what I like to call the Donald Duck design, where every character wears a shirt but no pants. Interestingly, all the enemies wear pants but no shirts, which is an elegant choice if it's intentional. We'll rank the Kongs by design now. In last place is Cranky Kong. While his beard is aesthetically pleasing, the way it travels up the side of his face and symmetrically loops around his head, all this design conveys is that he's old, and I can't really find anything more to say. Next is Dixie Kong. Her pink shirt is knotted. That fashion sense is mainly attributed with country girls, and wouldn't you know it, the country is right there in the title. She's less dainty and dignified and more of a get her hands dirty type of monkey, which is why I'm confused that pink is her colour. I personally signify pink with dainty and dignified, but how else would you convey she's a girl? Oh, that's right, her big blonde hair. My favourite thing about her hair is how it's shaped just like a banana. That is so adorable. My penultimate ranking is Diddy Kong. While he is a corporate shill, constantly wearing official Nintendo merchandise, he's also the only Kong with a tail. The tail has always given him a younger, sportier look. Finally, we come to the O.J. Simpson of Nintendo, Donkey Kong. Other than his tuft of hair, which I can't think of anything to say about, his one article of clothing is his tie. Now I often think to myself, why would Donkey Kong wear a tie? Then I try to think of a monkey business joke. Then I slap myself and realize I'm better than that. You know, the tie reminds me of every boss in the Yakuza games. How they're always wearing tidy suits, but underneath them they're shredded like the immigration requests Lord Frederick made to move his people to the Mushroom Kingdom. I can just imagine that Yagami is stopped by a bunch of thugs that say, "The boss wants a word with you!" And then he walks into the office, and it's just a 4K hyper-realistic Donkey Kong sitting in a chair with his red tie. And then Yagami says, "What business do you have with me, Kong?" And then Donkey Kong grunts and says, "Monkey business." I hate myself. But the actual top designed Kong is... The following paragraph requires a warning. I should write something is not affiliated with a furry/furries nor any members of the YIF political party. Look at this specimen. Try this one if you want to talk about the exaggerated swagger of video game characters. The mushroom pattern bandana, the rimless sunglasses, the tucked-in tank top, the cut-off shorts with a loose hanging belt, the light fur shade to reflect the beach. Funky is perfection. If Michelangelo existed in the modern age, he would not craft the statue of David. Instead, he would craft Funky Kong.